Speech of Prime Minister of India on the occasion of the Golden Jubilee celebrations of the Election Commission of India, January 17, 2001. Respected Rashtrapati Ji, Shri Bal Yogi Ji, Dr. Gill, Shrimati Sonia Gandhi, Shri Lingdo, Shri Krishnamurti, friends. Today is a proud day for the preeminent institution of our republic, which we are all proud of. The Golden Jubilee of the Election Commission of India is truly a golden moment in the history of our democracy. India built many institutions after freedom and adopting a republic constitution. Each of them has served the cause of the nation in its own distinguished way. But if anyone were to conduct an opinion poll on which of these institutions have rendered the best service to Indian democracy, which is the highest degree of integrity, I have no doubt in my mind that the Election Commission of India will be people's first choice. India has seen 13 parliamentary elections and many more elections to the state assemblies in the past 50 years. In each one of them, some have won, others have lost. Nevertheless, there has been one permanent winner in all these elections. It is the Election Commission of India. Not once in the past 5 decades has the outcome of a single parliamentary election been questioned. Not once during the past 13 elections has the transfer of power anything but smooth. The same is true about the change of the government in the states. The Commission has truly performed the role of neutral umpire and a referee during elections without any fear or favor. It has established healthy tradition of restraining the ruling parties from taking any unfair advantage during election and providing a truly level playground to the electoral contests. In holding regular elections, the Commission has confronted and managed very difficult situations in some of the states which were affected by insurgency, serious law and order problem, and disturbances by terrorists and militants. People abroad often wonder how India pulls off the miracle of managing a general election involving an electorate of over 62 million and over 7,50,000 polling stations, almost 4 million election staff, and over a million civil security personnel. Their sense of wonder turns into a disbelief when they are told that the Commission has been managing the largest democratic election of the world with a core staff of less than 300 at its secretariat. Elections in India are not ordinary event. They are the Mahakumbh of our democracy. And like Kumbh, they too have an expression and a celebration of our faith, their unshakable faith in our democracy. The Commission has proved itself more worthy of the enormous faith reposed by the founding fathers of our Constitution the political spectrum, the judiciary, and the people at large. Equally important is the Commission's enhanced reputation in the eyes of the global community. Therefore, I join all my countrymen today in warmly felicitating the Chief Election Commissioner, his brother commissioners, all their distinguished predecessors, and the entire staff of the Commission on this very special occasion. Friends, today is an occasion of celebration for the Election Commission and of introspection of our democracy. We need to comprehensively review the experience of past 50 years, learn from our achievements as well as our failures, and prepare a reliable roadmap for the future. There is much in our democratic system that makes any Indian hold his head high. At the same time, there is also much in it that fills our mind with concern and anguish. I must emphasize here that the drawbacks in our democracy are not because of the Election Commission. Rather, they have been created and sustained by the system as a whole. Hence, it is the systematic change that we need to address. I have had the privilege of closely watching all the 13 elections so far, first as a campaigner in the first one and as a candidate in all the subsequent ones. I am, however, dismayed by the fact that the elections are becoming increasingly contentious as time goes by. In their bid to win, political parties and candidates often cross the norms of proper conduct, which is so essential for preserving and strengthening the culture of democracy. Truth often becomes a casualty as the campaign becomes more shrill. Allegations replace voter education, which ought to be the true function of an election campaign. Indeed, ordinary people are more interested in knowing about the issues, platforms, and performances of various contestants rather than in the accusations and counter accusations. Often, the Election Commission and the election campaign leave them disillusioned in spite of the Commission's best efforts. The role of media is strengthening our democracy is well organized. However, during the election, the media too contributes to generation of more heat than light. I will probably echo the concern of all our countrymen when I say that the growing menace of money and muscle power has come to pose greatest challenge to India's democracy. Elections are becoming prohibitively costly, so much so that an ordinary political activist, in spite of having an extraordinary record of public service, find it difficult even to dream of contesting elections. Even established political parties are finding it even harder to garner requisite resources. The situation increases the dependence of both candidates and the parties on money bags, which all the attendant negative influences on the polity. What makes this dependence tighter is the occurrence of frequent and unscheduled elections. This also adversely affects the quality of our governance. I therefore strongly believe that a fixed tenure for our parliament and state legislature is essential for our democratic system to become mature and deliver governance. I am happy that the Constitutional Review Commission has initiated a public debate on this important issue. When elections become more contentious and confrontational, it is also natural for criminal and antisocial elements to find a foothold in the electoral process. This corrodes people's confidence in free and fair elections, which are the heart of democracy. It is therefore high time all political parties evolved a consensus on how to check and reverse the malignant trend of corruption and the criminalization in our electoral process. State funding of elections on the basis of transparent formula has been suggested by as a workable solution. This and many other reforms have been debated for a long time by several committees, including the ones headed by late Dinesh Goswami and Shri Indrajit Gupta. The Law Commission has also made several important recommendations on the electoral reforms. It has become necessary to take a holistic view of these reforms and implement them urgently. Yet another issue that is awaiting consensus among political parties for a long time is the Women's Reservation Bill. I am happy that the Election Commission has made a constructive suggestion to break the deadlock in the matter. Unfortunately, there is no consensus even on this. However, we cannot go back on our commitment on women's empowerment. This being the year of women's empowerment, it is all the more necessary that we soon evolve some acceptable formula to achieve our fundamental objective. The government has open mind to consider any constructive proposal in this regard. Friends, although I have mentioned that some of the shortcomings in our democratic experience in the last 5 decades, let no one doubt that our pluses far outweigh our minuses. The inherent strength of democracy fill us with self-confidence that we can indeed remove the weaknesses. In this endeavor, the Election Commission has been performing its task with great aplomb. It is now the duty of the government, political party, people's organization, and the media to discharge our part of the responsibility to give the system that can meet the challenges of the new century and fulfill the growing aspirations of all our citizens. Once again, my hearty congratulations to the Election Commission of India on completing half a century of glorious service to our Republic. Thank you.